welcome to my garden. So today I am going to plant roses, but first I wanted to let you know what I'm doing here today because I already have been working few hours since I think 12 o'clock. It's already after 4 in the afternoon, and I'm ready to plant the roses, but I've been doing several things today. So basically what I did today, I removed hydrangeas. So this is the bed I'm working on, but I ordered several David Aston roses because I am just not really happy with this bed, how this is coming. It has come along. Some things has worked, something hasn't, and this is kind of a very different. There's a different lighting here because I have large trees and it's beautiful. It's kind of a woodlandy. I had some big leaf hydrangeas here which just really didn't do anything because it also gets very dry, clearly because I have large trees growing here. So this bed gets really dry, hardly gets kind of sunny, and then as you go on the other side it gets a bit more shady. So some things doing really well, like hydrangeas do really well on that side, but this side they get quite sunny. So as you can see, I have hostas here, and you can see as it comes this way, they just don't do as well as some of them on this side. So I may have to move these hostas. I'm not sure. They did okay. They better this year actually than they have done. So maybe they're also establishing. So we'll just kind of figure that out later. But for today, what I decided to do is remove the hydrangeas, which I transplanted the hydrangeas back by the pergola area. It gets a little more moist there. The soil is a little different because it's under the pine trees, that it has a better drainage in some ways. So I think they will do much better there. So I transplanted them by the pergola. Also, I had acanthus, which I also moved to the by the pergola garden. um, I have some begonias there which were in my containers here. Look at this gorgeous azalea that's blooming here. So these guys were kind of being shaded by these begonias, and I went ahead and took the begonias out, but they're doing so good. Look how lush they are. I decided I really don't want to discard them yet, so I went ahead and planted in between these oak leaf hydrangeas for the moment. And I decided let me just let that kind of be for a bit. Sometimes they come back the following year, sometimes they don't in my zone. So if they do, it's fine. If it doesn't, then I'll just discard them, in the middle of the winter season. But what I also did, I transplanted my rhododendron. You can see right here. This is a beautiful wine and roses series, very beautiful. Has a two-tone leaves that we planted earlier last season. So I transplanted here, and it has buds on them already. And I'm hoping that they will not get hopefully affected by the transfer. But at the same time, I was very careful to take the root ball, with as much soil as possible without not disturbing as much, and hopefully they will do. And if they do get disturbed, then hopefully next year they will be okay. So it's not going to affect the plant. And I also transplanted another deciduous azalea right there, because what I wanted to do is kind of free all the sunny areas, because this is where I want to plant roses. And I can tell you, um, what I'm thinking to do, probably have someone who's coming to help us by the pergola trees, cutting trees or branches. I'm hoping maybe he can help me to lift the canopy just a little bit for this tree, and maybe shape them a little bit so they don't go too far out. Hopefully bring a little more light to this bed, at least this area for the roses. But I researched some of the roses, that modern shrub roses, the David Aston's roses. They're actually some of them, they actually prefer part sun. So some of them don't, but some of them can tolerate part sun areas. And so one of those that I know, I researched, was called named after a British actress, very beloved actress, and her name is Judi Dench, I believe. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. Let me put my glasses on. And we will post the pictures so you can see. but is it Dame? Judy Dench?
Dent.
Dame?
Yeah.
Is it Dame?
Mm-hmm.
Judy Dench. Anyway, they are beautiful. It's I researched and it was named after Judy Dench, actress, and so they have a beautiful apricot tones, and I think they would be really pretty in this area. I want something beautiful here, and also what I'm going to do is plant several um, evergreen type plants around them because I don't want this bed to get very empty when the summer season is out. I'd like it to be full and I like to still enjoy it in the winter time. And when the roses will, go into sleep, and obviously they will not be, they're not evergreen, but I will still have evergreen elements with the roses to keep the beds full. And hopefully when I plant some beautiful bulbs, then they will accompany all these gorgeous evergreen plants. So anyway, I have four here. I believe I planted, no, actually they have five. Oh, okay. So I have actually five of them. I ordered five. I have four holes. For some reason I didn't count correctly. I thought they had to still send me one. But anyway, I have five of these roses and they are bare roots. You can see I soaked them in the water last night, and I like soaking them in this container because this is nice and tall and I can really immerse everything in there. It works really well for me. So I'm going to plant these here, and then what I'm going to do, I have a few other ones that I'm going to plant today. Hopefully I will have a lot of time to show you today. I'm not sure, we'll see, because it's getting late. I was very busy today. So one is Lady Emma Hamilton, which I'm really excited. This rose should get about 1.5 meters. So this one will be kind of almost like a short climber. And I just wanted to show you my thought process, because this area, in my last video I said that I removed some of the peonies from this bed, which is going to my friend's garden. But what I did, I planted four, one, two, three, four, no, five. I planted five hybrid tea roses here, and they called Sean Doe's Beauty. They're very beautiful. They're mellow colors. They're creamy with kind of an apricot centers. I think they will be really, really beautiful here because I have roses here, and this is a very sunny area. So I'd like to have roses here as well. Lady Emma Hamilton has those beautiful apricot colors as well. So that one I'm going to plant here where I had my pinnacle hydrangea, Framboisine, which is translates raspberry in from French, but it's piniculata hydrangea. And anyway, it did really well here. But when I was planting here, I realized that it was getting more afternoon sun, and which was okay with lots of water. It did okay. It didn't do bad, especially for its first year. But I realized that it was struggling a little in my area because my zone is 8B, I believe, and so hot afternoon sun, it still affects them a little too much. So I transplanted that hydrangea today from this area to right here on this ledge. So I think that area will be really pretty because I have that round area right there, which I wasn't really finding something interesting to go there, but that will bring a nice interest, and it will be protected some ways from the sun, but not, but it will still get enough sun to bloom. So as you guys all know, pinnacle hydrangeas, they like to get sun, and without sun they just don't do really well. And so, but it will have enough sun, but also will be protected. I think that's probably better place for it in my zone. And one of this Lady Emma Hamilton is going to go right here, and I think I'm going to place this obelisk with the rose, because I figured probably since it's a short climber, 1.5 meters, I could probably have it swirled just a little bit and come up on it, which would be kind of another interesting vertical interest here, in my opinion. And so anyway, so that was one of the roses. I have the other three. The other ones are Gabriel oak, which is a beautiful fuchsia color, and then I have this amazing Jubilee celebration, which is a very famous David Austin rose. I'm excited, and those three will go by the pergola in my sun area. And so anyway, this is what's going on today, but I have to get to work because it's already getting late. It's starting to get cold, and I'm afraid they've been already soaked in the water. They have to go into the ground today, so I have to hustle to get this done. Just really quick before I start planting, I always use for my roses. I really like using this infuse. I always tell that during my planting. I always talk about this because I really like this systemic disease control. This is really good for the boxwoods. I actually had really good luck this year. From didn't allow them to yellow. It just gives them immunity against fungus diseases and things like that. So I really like it. I just ordered it from Amazon in the US, and so anyway, really like this. I'm going to use that. Also, I am going to use some mycorrhizal fungi. Also, I'm using my homemade compost and maybe some um, blood, bone, and fish fertilizer in a hole when I plant them. So that's just what's going to happen today. I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so I got very, very close to my project. I have one more rose to plant, but I wanted to go over really quick to show you what we got done before I get on this last one because we are losing light. Trying to go as fast as I can, but today was just a really big work day for me. I don't know what happened. I just got carried away. And so just really quick, I wanted to show you what I did. So this is that pergola area. This is a really kind of developing area. um, I planted a whole bunch of hydrangeas. There's a hydrangea right here. Let me show you. This is what I planted, a hydrangea right here today. I moved from the my closer to the house, that woodland area. So I planted the hydrangea. I planted actually 3 hydrangeas, acanthus, and several things and some primroses that I had. So today what I did after I planted all the roses by the house, which we will go over really quick, I came back here and I transferred my David Austin roses, uh, um, um, Princess Alexandra Kent is the name. And so it was planted here originally, and you can, if you remember from my previous videos, I planted blue ribbon clematis right here. So I'm not going to have time today to actually transfer them and transplant them anywhere else because I'm running out of light. But what I did is, at least I was able to transplant my roses. I gave them a little more distance here. This is a block tower elderberry in the center. Now this will not go more than like 80 centimeter wide and about 4 feet tall, I believe. So it's going to be beautiful tower, and actually in the sun it will get really nice red color to it. So it's going to be really beautiful with the roses. I actually have one blooming. It's kind of not looking that great because of the season, but it's blooming and it's going to be really pretty here. I love how this triangle worked out, and I really wanted to give the distance to them when I was planting, but our ground was so hard. We just hardly had any rain last season, so I wasn't really able to kind of break this area. So this part here, it's all amended. I have a little area here that it's just not amended, and I'm waiting for the rainy season to actually get in here and do my last amendment on this soil. So I was able to transplant 1, 2, and 3. So you can see this is where this one was planted, and I moved this a little farther out because they will get quite big, and so I was hoping to just give their own individuality here. And then what I decided to do is, now I have 2 piniculata hydrangea. This is a red prime, I believe. So I'm going to plant this in my friend's garden. I removed them. They're just temporarily here. But what I did, I planted the Gabriel oak shrub rose right here to give a little bit of a contrast, because this one has a fuchsia color. And then one of the Jubilee Celebration roses, which is pink, in the pink tones again, I planted right there. So I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 roses just in this area. And then I have this last one, which is another Jubilee celebration, this one is, I'm going to plant right here shortly. That's why I have my hose out still, but it's going to go right here.